Hey, what's going on, guys? It is November 29th. What a week in the market. I mean, the market went up pretty good this week. The S&P 500 was up 4.75%, so it was a huge week for the S&P 500. I was able to sell two options on TQQQ. So I sold two call options, which I'm going to get to later on in the video. I'm going to show you guys exactly in real time me doing that. I went out on the strike price pretty far. I always do everything pretty safe as far as selling options. Yeah, I make less premium, and people are like, well, you could have done this and made more premium, but then I have to sell my shares and buy my shares. I like to just let it expire, take the premium, and just keep on doing it. Do it the next week. So I was able to go out pretty far on the strike price. I got decent premium. I was happy with the premium. So as long as you're happy with the premium you're getting, that's all that matters. It's all that matters, you know. So don't try to make it difficult for yourself. Make it easy for yourself. Just keep the money coming in steady. So I'll show you that in a little bit. And one thing I want to get to is this was a pretty big week for me. So I started this channel in April, and I started this channel because I've been selling options for a while, right? So I've been making good money, and I want everybody else to learn how to do this. That's why I started this channel, and you guys are amazing. My subscribers are great. You guys are commenting. I'm answering questions, a lot of the day, a lot of questions every day. It's getting more and more with the more subscribers, which I like it. So I'm trying to answer everyone's questions, but this week I reached a point where I got over 1,000 subscribers. All right, celebration over. Okay, time to get to business. All right, we're gonna go over a few things. There's a lot of new people, okay, that don't know nothing about options. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it right now, and then we're gonna get to the two options that I sold this week on Wednesday. Okay, so when you're looking for a stock, right, I'm just gonna pick a stock. I'm gonna take you through the whole process right now. I'm gonna pick Disney. I've never even looked at the options on Disney, what I could get. So let's get to it, and I'll show you exactly how you want to do this, okay? For all the people that are just starting out, you're like, I got some cash in my account, I can sell some puts. Or I've got these shares, I've got 1,000 shares, I could sell 10 options, and it's just been sitting there for, years, and I haven't done anything with it. No, you use that stock to make money, safely, but use that stock to make money. Learn how to sell these options, okay? So, all right, let's get to it. I'm going to show you exactly how this is done. So I use the Charles Schwab app. Every brokerage is different. The platform's different, but it's all pretty much has the same stuff. So if you're not using Charles Schwab, if you're using, Fidelity, or if you're using Robinhood, you can find the stuff that I'm talking about, but it won't be in the same place, obviously, as the Charles Schwab. But if you are using Charles Schwab, here you go. So, okay, I'm going to sell some options on Disney, all right? So here's what I would do. Going to look up a stock, and I'll do Disney, Walt Disney Company right here. So I'll pick this. I want to go to options, so options right here, and you're going to want to go to the option chain. So Disney right now is at 104.32. Now what kind of money can I get for a put right now? Okay, let's go to the option chain. The option chain gives you different strike prices, which are in the middle. It gives you the bid and the ask on the puts on the right hand side, and the calls on the left hand side. So we got the cash and we want to sell some puts, right? So here's what we do. I'm going to move the strike prices out a little bit further so we see some more of them. So right now there's 8 strike prices. I'm going to tap on that. I'm going to do 12, right? So the expiration date is right here. December 5th is the expiration date. You know what? I want to go out a week further. All you do is tap on it. You hit December 12th. That will be my expiration date, okay? So I want to sell some puts. The stock's at 104.47. I want it a little cheaper. I want it at a discount. So here's what I'm going to do. 104 is, that's at the money right there, 104. So, you know what? I want it at $100. I want it $4.47 cheaper. So what I'm going to do is go to the 100 strike price. Okay, the 100 strike price is right here. And okay, so I'm going to the 100 strike price. So here's the deal. When you pick your strike price on the puts, if by expiration that stock does not go below the strike price that you pick, you choose the price that you want to buy this stock at, right? So if it doesn't close below that, you just keep the premium, and that's cash money that goes directly into your account as long as you're doing it a cash secured put. So you have the cash already, the full amount of cash to buy as many shares as, so if you sell one put option, then you would have to have the money in there to buy 100 shares of whatever stock that you choose. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I want to buy these, but I want them at a discount. So I want them at $100. It's at $104.47. I want to buy it at $100. So I look here at the puts, and there's, the bid is 35 cents. The ask is 41 cents. Okay, so what I do is I always go right in the middle. So I'll do 38 cents. That's my starting point. Okay, so I'll put it in and I'll see if the option goes through and gets picked up. So here's what I would do. I would tap on the bid and the ask. It already says sell to open, STO. That's what you want. You want to sell the option and open the position. Okay, so say you did have enough money for one option, so you're selling quantity 1, okay, and how much could I get? So the bid and the ask is 35 and 41, like I said. The middle is 38 cents, and so it says 35 cents, where you have to move it up a little bit. So you just hit the plus sign, boom, 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 38 cents. And how much money would I make to sell one put option on Disney? Look right down here, $38. If you want to sell 2, you change the quantity to 2, and then how much would you make? $76. Okay, so that's what you would do, and then you would review the order. You tap on that. The market's closed, so it's not going to go through, but then it says, it reviews it for you. So sell to open, 2 Disney call option or put options. The expiration date is December 12th, and these are 100 strike price. Okay, so that's all you do, and then you hit place order. And then if you want to edit that, you know, I had it at 38 cents, right? So what if you put it, you want it to go through right away, say. You don't want to wait all day. You can wait all day. You could put it in for the end of the day, and it'll just sit there, and if it hits your price, it'll pick it up and it'll go through. So if you don't want to do that, you just do this. You edit it. You can edit it if it's not going through, and then you can adjust it. So if it's not going through, you might want to lower the premium. So you would just hit the negative button, do it at 37 cents. Try that. If it doesn't go through, put it at 36 cents. Try it again. It'll go through at some point. But you want to go in the middle of the bid and the ask, because usually it works, sometimes it doesn't, but then you can adjust it from there. So you don't want to miss out on any money. You don't want to leave any money on the table. So that's how you would sell a put option. Another thing is, I want to show you, and all different brokerages have the same thing. Let me go to the option chain again. And okay, we were doing the 100 strike price. So let's go back to that, and I want to show you something. So on this Charles Schwab app, if you swipe over, you'll have to put it on there, but it shows the 100 strike price right here, and then it has delta, which I put on there. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that too. So you go down to the 100 strike price. The delta is 0.08. Okay, so you're probably saying, I'm just starting out, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, delta. What is delta? you know. So delta is, I showed you, is 0.08, right? That tells me it's got 8% of chance of it going in the money. In the money on puts would be below the $100 strike price. Then you're in the money on the puts. Okay, on the calls it's the opposite. On the calls it's above the strike price. So if the stock is at $95 and you pick a $100 strike price on a call that you're selling a call, so you own the shares already, and it goes above that $100 strike price, that's in the money. You don't want to be in the money, really. You want to let it expire worthless. So by expiration date that you choose the expiration date, you choose the strike price, you choose everything. So, and this is a stock that you want to use, that you would buy anyway. You got to check the stock out, and you want to do it on a stock that you want to buy it anyway, because you might have to hold it for a while if you get into a situation. So you check the earnings. I've gone over that in other videos. My last video, you check the earnings, you check all the analytics, you check everything about the stock, make sure it's a decent stock, make sure it's making money. You know, you don't want to just pick a stock like, oh, I just want to pick whatever stock, and you don't check it out. You got to check what it's doing, because this thing might be going down and you're gonna eventually lose money on the stock. But on the options, you're always making premium, so you're basically selling time. Okay, so the time from when you sell the option to expiration date, you get money for that. Okay, so that's where you get your money. All right, so let me show you a little bit more here. So the delta I have on there, so like I said, 0.08%. The implied volatility I got on there, 23.42. The theta is 0.03. Okay, what's theta? Theta is the decay of the option that you're selling day by day. Okay, and the day I would sell this, it'd be 0.03 theta, so it would go down 3 cents on the day that I sell the option, but it will increase. The theta will increase till the expiration date, so that changes. Okay, so it'll tell you the depreciation if you're selling the option and you're getting, what would we get? We got 38 cents on that. We would have got 38 cents. So actually I have to change this expiration date. So now the theta is on the $100 strike price. The theta is 0.04. So it would, the time decay would be 4 cents. It would lose the first day, and then the second day it would increase and increase until the 38 cents was totally gone. And if your option doesn't reach the strike price, then it's worthless. You keep the $38 for one option that you sold, and it ends, and you just do it again the next week if you choose to do it that way. I do it on Tuesday. Tuesday to Tuesday, I always sell the options around Tuesday, not always, but that's theta and delta, and I'll show you how to put on the option chain. I'll show you how to put those on there, because they don't come with them on there. Okay, so what you do is there's this little wheel up here, so you click the wheel, it says edit columns, you go here, and then you see the negative. This is all the stuff I have on the option chain: implied volatility, delta, theta, just like you saw. So if I wanted to get rid of that, I'd hit the negative button and I can get rid of it. See, these all have plus signs, right? These used to have plus signs, but when you put them on there on the option chain, they become negative signs because they're already on there. So you just hit the plus sign, and then it puts it on the option chain, and you can pick whatever you want to go on the option chain. So it's a couple tools that'll help you out. Another thing is, I mentioned in a couple videos my book that I have. I'll show you the book in a minute, but this is the spring I have in my neighborhood. I want to show you real quick. So nice day down here. I mean, well, other than that guy in a Speedo over there, I don't know what's up with that, but it's a nice day. It's around 70 degrees here in Orlando, Florida. And kind of dead because it's getting a little cooler out here. But for Florida, you're probably up north and it's probably snowing like crazy and you're thinking, cold, what are you talking about? Yeah, it doesn't get that cold down here. So still in shorts. But I want to show you my book here. I mentioned it in the last video, I believe, and a couple of videos. I mentioned my book. So this, I write down everything. When I sell an option, I write down how much I make. And let me show you here. So this is the book. So every week I show what I'm selling. I put the expiration date. I put how many options. I put how much I got premium for that option that I sold. And if I sold like 20 options and I got 21 cents, I add that up for that particular option, which was $420. And then I add up the total for the year to see how much I made for the year in premium, right? And then I separate it by weeks. So I separate it here. So this week I made $700. Last week $555, $237. That was a bad week, $99. It's a pretty great thing when you can say, oh, that was a bad week. I made $100, you know, 99 bucks. That was a bad week. So I averaged around $600 a week, around there. I work with about 115,000. So I've been doing it for a while. I just want you guys to see. And this is my second book. So I didn't just start this, okay? I've been doing it for a while. I make profits every single week. Some people were saying, yeah, but you can lose money on the stock. I see the stock and the option as two different things, okay? So the stock you're gonna own, you should use a stock that you wanna own anyway. So long term. So the stock can do anything. You know the stock's gonna go up and down, all right? All stocks do. So with the options, you're selling the time, you're getting the premium. So that's what I added up in my book. So I see them as two different things. I use the stock to make money for my call options, and I use the cash to make premium on my put options. But the stock and the options I see as two different things. So let's get to the two options I sold on the TQQQ. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the weekend video. I was just thinking, I'm looking at the TQQQ, the NASDAQ, and this week it has gone up quite a bit. Let me show you here real quick. So this is this week's chart. I mean, it's gone up quite a bit this week. I'm thinking it's time to sell some options. And last week, that TQQQ, they split. So it was a 2-for-1 split. So now instead of having 100 shares, I have 200 shares. And you know what that means? Now I can sell two options. All right, let's see how much money I can make. All right, let's go to the Charles Schwab account. I'm going to sell, I'm already on the TQQQ, if you see right here. I'm going to sell quantity, two options. And this time I'm not rolling for once. So you're seeing it that I'm selling an option, a call option, without rolling it. So now you'll know how that's done. All right. All right. So I'm going to first select action here. Sell to open, STO. All right. Now I'm going to check the option chain. I'm going to make a few bucks. I'm going to keep it very safe. So I'm going to roll, well, I'm not going to roll it, but I'm going to go out to the expiration date of December 5th. Okay. And remember, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So that's just a freebie day. It's going to stay the same. So you don't have to worry about that. So you just got to worry about Friday and then next week, going above the strike price. So. All right, so let me change the number of strikes. So you see where it says strike 8, and this is on the Charles Schwab app. I'm going to go down. I'm going to put this pretty far out just in case. So I'm going to go down to 32 different strike prices. All right, and the one I was thinking about would be 58. Okay, 58. So that's $4 and what, like 30 cents? It would have to go up by next Friday expiration date for it to go in the money, and I will make, it's looking like around 22 cents. So 2 options times 22 cents times 200. So that would be $44. Not much, but $44. If someone walked up to you and said, here, you want $44? Yeah, I'll take $44, no problem. And it's very safe. And if it does go in the money, I'm getting $58 a share. Over $4, like $4.30 higher, okay? So it's a no-brainer, really. I'll just take this money, and if it does go up that much, which, let's see how much that is. We'll go, I'll show you something real quick. So we'll go to the calculator, and it is at 53.70, and I'm going up about $4.30. So $4.30 divided by 53.70 equals times 100, and it has to go up 8% in the next week and 1 day. Okay, I don't think that's gonna happen, but you know, it could happen, might happen, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna take this this bet right here. I think it's in my favor, so let's get to it. All right, so I'm gonna go down to the 58 strike, and these are calls. All right, so we go here, calls right there. And you know what I'm going to show you here? So let's go down to the 58. I'm going to show you the delta. So 58, if I go all the way over, the delta on this is 13. So what does that tell me? That tells me that there's 13% chance of this going in the money by next Friday. That's, I mean, the odds are like way in my favor. Okay, so I think I'm going to take this bet and make a few bucks. So we go back over here. I'm going to take the 58 strike. I got it 2 options. I'm going to sell to open. It's looking like I can get 23 cents maybe. We'll try that, 46 bucks, all right? So I'm gonna review the order. Sell to open, 2 options, TQQQ, expiration December 5th, and the strike price is 58, and these are calls. And 23 cents I'd get. So I'm gonna place the order at 23 cents, and boom, it went through. All right, so I'm gonna check the order status, and it filled at 23 cents. So that's 46 bucks in my pocket. And if it does go in the money, they got to pay me $58 a share, 8% higher than it is right now. Okay, easy money, guys. Back to the weekend video. So easy money, guys. So as you can see, the expiration is the 5th of December. I made 23 cents, so that was 46 bucks. I mean, and I moved the strike price out to $58. So it's got to go, these are calls, so it's got to go over $58 before it goes in the money. And if I do have to sell the shares, I get $58, so over $4 higher than what the stock is at right now. So I'm getting over $4 more for the stock if it goes into the money and I have to sell the shares. And I don't think it's going to do that, but it could do that. It does go, it's ×3, so it does move a lot. It's very volatile. But I mean, I get the premium and I get the over $4 a share extra from where it's at. So I love options. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I tell you guys all the time, it's easy money. Some people don't think it's easy money, but it's easy money. I've been doing it for years. Okay, you want to learn this, all right? So, and did you see the delta on that? The delta, 13. The delta was 13. Now, what does that mean? I showed you before what it meant. You should know what it means by now, but that means there's 13% chance of it going in the money by expiration. Okay, so if you went to a casino and your odds of winning were 87%, I would sit at that slot machine all day long, all day long. I mean, the odds are in your favor, you know, and not only they're in your favor, but you're getting, you know, you're setting the strike price wherever you want to set it at, you know. So it's most of the time the option buyer loses. So like on those two call options on TQQQ, the person that's buying the options, they have 13% chance of making some money. I have 87% chance. I'll be the seller. I never buy options. I do not buy options. The only time I would buy options is if the market tanked like it has before, and the market's down like 30%. You know, like if you look at the 100-year chart on the S&P 500, let me show you guys. If you look at the 100-year chart, you will see that it is straight up. And remember, you know, you had the dot-com bubble, you had the crash of 1929. That's right there. You had the housing debacle in 2008. You don't barely even see them, you know. So if something happened like that and it dropped like that, I would probably do a leap option. A leap option is over a year. Okay, so you can set the expiration date out as far as you want, pretty much. I mean, but you can set it out pretty far, a couple years actually. So a leap option is anything where the expiration date is over a year. If it was down and I thought it was the bottom, I would do a leap option, and I would go out maybe like a year. Because if you look at the 100-year chart on the S&P 500, it always, first of all, always recovers 100% of the time. It always goes higher than the last high was. You look at the chart, you'll see. And normally it rebounds on a bad dip within a few years. I mean, the max like 4 years, 3 years, normally even 2 years. So if you look at just go and look at the chart. It makes you feel a little bit more comfortable when you look at that chart, because people are like, oh, I don't mess with the stock market because I can lose all my money. Well, then you're doing something wrong. You can't lose all your money. You know, if you invest in the right things, you know, like an ETF, maybe a single stock, yeah, you can lose all your money. You can go bankrupt. But I'm talking about like ETFs, like the S&P 500. SPY is the ticker on that. So if you invest in something like that, a composite with a bunch of different stocks, it's got like over 500 different stocks in it, you are safe, because if one stock is not doing well, it'll drop off on the S&P 500. They'll put another one in there. That's the only time I would buy an option, you know. Other than that, I strictly sell options, and I might never do that, you know. The money is too good and too steady coming in from selling the options. So, well, you guys saw me sell the 2 options on TQQQ. You learned a few things. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. Welcome everyone. You guys will see me out every Saturday, just teaching you a few things here and there about selling options. During the week, I'm always selling the options. You'll see them in real time. Every option I sell, I put it on the videos. Okay, so you'll see everything, and this is real money, guys. This is not a paper account or a fake account. So you guys are great. Comment about any questions you have pertaining to the options or whatever you want to talk about. I appreciate everybody that subscribed, all the new subscribers. I got like 370 new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Got me over that 1,000 subscriber mark. I appreciate that. You guys are great, and I'll see you on the next video.